Hi, I'm Praveen Jamnani. I'm a senior vice president with Infoseps, and I take care of the global practices and delivery organization within Infoseps. So it's been 24 years for me in the industry, most of it in the data and analytics space. So, having started my journey as an engineer, and then over the years, I've moved into various different roles. There are five key essentials that I feel every engineer needs to follow and have to be successful. The first being you need to think business first. You need to make sure you're very sharply focused on solving business problems. The second being we as engineers are very fond of complex designs and technology, but it's extremely important to keep things simple. Your solutions should always be very simple if you need high adoption and you want high acceptance in the user community. The third thing that I have experienced is very important is to constantly upskill and cross skill yourself. When I started my journey, we had roughly about 40 to 60 technologies in the data and analytics space, which we had to deal with. Today, there are 1400 plus technologies in the market. Taking time to sharpen your saw is extremely important. The fourth key point is to be hands-on, to experiment with ideas, to fail fast. As you grow in your career, there is a tendency that you start becoming more of a mentor or lead and you stop being very hands-on with technology. And that's not good. And finally, in the recent past, if you see, there's been a lot of emphasis on productivity, a lot of emphasis on efficiencies. That's the real reason why you see AI and automation really picking up in the market. As engineers, we also need to make sure we are constantly monitoring our throughput. We are being extremely efficient and we are doing more for less. Obviously, the very first thing is if you are working on leading edge technologies already, then you're already ahead of the curve. So do assess that the projects you're doing or the solutions you're building, are these legacy or are these modern? So that itself will tell you how well you are placed in your organization or in your work setup. Two, are you working on more complex problems? That's important. So you may start with simpler problems to solve, but have you, over the last few months or years, have you really progressed yourself to solve more complex problems? The third thing, which is extremely important, is to measure the business outcomes of what you're doing. And believe me, if you are, increasing the business value and the economic value added to the organization for which you're working, the growth and the success will come to you. And that is the most important factor in my mind. So making sure that you're adding economic value. Typically, when we as an organization look at performance measurement for our associates, there are broadly three key areas or key result areas where we measure performance, and therefore scores like what's the customer satisfaction with what you're giving, CSAT scores for your projects become important. Second is quality. So when you're building solutions as an engineer, you need to measure quality, and quality could be measured in terms of defect density, defect creep, cost of quality, and there are multiple methods and mechanisms by which, but you need to make sure that the work you're doing as an engineer especially, you are providing very high quality output, and measuring quality becomes extremely important. Third is cost, because you may actually deliver a fantastic solution, but if it is not economically viable, or if it is not able to provide the right ROI, then it's of no use. And that's where I also mentioned keeping things simple is extremely important. So as far as core work is concerned, these things are extremely important. But I feel otherwise for engineers, what's also important is to measure the innovation quotient in terms of how many new ideas you were able to incorporate, how much of new tech and shiny tech were you able to apply, how much of reusable assets were you able to build, which will help you build similar solutions faster in the future. So reusability and innovation is another key result area which becomes important for engineers to measure. Think technology but talk business language. It's extremely important, and building, developing the art of communicating your engineering ideas into simple business language is extremely important for you to build, because if you don't do that, you're not going to get the right opportunities or the sponsorship you need to do all the technology marvel that you need to do.